In the small village of Isiagu, there was a young man named Agunna. He loved to explore and visit near the old ruins outside the village. One hot, sunny afternoon, while walking along the bush path, Agunna noticed something shiny hidden under some leaves. He brushed the leaves away and found a beautiful, ornate mask. The mask had intricate patterns and glowing eyes that seemed to look right into his soul. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to take the mask home. When he showed it to his mother, Achalugo, she gasped. "This mask is very old, Agunna," she said softly. "It might have powerful magic. Be careful with it. In fact, return it to where you found it first thing tomorrow morning." That night, Agunna lay on his bamboo bed, thinking about the mask. He couldn't resist the urge to try it on. As soon as he placed it on his face, a strange sensation washed over him. Suddenly, he could see and hear things that weren't there before. Spirits of ancestors appeared before him, whispering secrets and stories from long ago. Agunna was both scared and fascinated. The spirits told Agunna that the mask belonged to a powerful old seer who could see into the past and future. It had been hidden to protect its magic from falling into the wrong hands. The spirits also warned him that using the mask came with great responsibility and danger. The next day, Agunna shared what he had learned with Oba and Obi. They decided to keep the mask a secret and use its powers to help their village. But things did not go as smoothly as they hoped. Every time Agunna used the mask, it revealed darker and more dangerous truths about their village's past. The village of Zuma have been plagued with drought and death for the past 5 years, and all the efforts to find out what was happening, but to no avail. The native doctor only said, "The gods are silent. We need to hear from the gods, and they are silent," he said sadly. The king have even sent out emissaries to neighboring villages to inquire from their seers. But there was no answers as to what was wrong in their land. The king was devastated. So was his elders and council. One evening, Agunna looked at the mask with great worry on his face. Then he had a great urge to put the mask on. On wearing the mask, Agunna saw a vision of a great drought that had struck Isiagu Kingdom many years ago. The late king, King Okosisi, consulted his chief priest, but in an act of desperation, they didn't wait to hear from the gods of the land. They embarked on a journey to another kingdom and brought a strange and wicked deity, Ajofia, into the land. They made a pact with the deity Ajofia to offer the blood of 7 firstborn sons, and it will be sacrificed to it altar every 3 years. Then the king arranged men who will secretly kidnap little boys in their kingdom and neighboring villages, while the parents will still cry to the palace to report their missing sons to the king. King Okosisi will feign ignorance and order his guards to look for the missing children. This wickedness have continued every 3 years, and nothing was done about it. Years later, the chief priest was struck by a lightning inside his shrine. King Okosisi fell sick mysteriously and couldn't speak. The whole village was scarred, and everyone was living in fear as they asked who will be next. After the death of the chief priest, another chief priest emerged, and he had no clue what had transpired between King Okosisi and the late chief priest. The king also died mysteriously, and his son took over throne. The deity Ajofia's shrine was deserted, with no one offering any sacrifice of blood to it. The deity got angry and started pouring its wrath on the people of Isiagu, bringing with it death, drought, and destruction in their land. Agunna saw everything that has happened when he wore the mask and he was shocked and sad about the atrocities the people that was supposed to protect the land had committed. Agunna told his friends what he had saw when he wore the mask. His friends were shocked too. Agunna and his friends decided they had to break the pact and free their village from the dark spirit's hold. But how? The mask showed them the way to an old shaman who lived deep in the 7 mountains. But before they left, they visited the king and the chief priest and told them all they have discovered. The king and his elders were all amazed and hopeful. At last there is a solution. The chief priest blessed them and invoked the protection of the gods. Of their ancestors on them, 4 other bodied men joined Agunna and his friends, making them a total number of 7. They set off on their journey, facing many challenges along the way. They crossed rivers, climbed mountains, and fought wild beasts. Each night, the mask revealed more about the spirit's powers and how to defeat it. When they finally reached the cave where the shaman resides, she warned them of the dangers they faced. The deity is a very wicked and powerful one, she said, but with courage and the right spells, you can defeat it. You must find the sacred herbs that grow in the Valley of Shadows. It is called Ogirishi leaf. Only they can weaken the deity enough for you to destroy it. Agunna and the other 6 young men set off once again, this time with the shaman's guidance. The Valley of Shadows was a dark and eerie place, filled with strange noises and ghostly apparitions. They searched for days, growing more and more weary. Just when they were about to give up, Agunna had a vision of the herb's location. Agunna was still in trance as he walks towards a path. The other men followed him. They walked for a while, then they came face to face with the mighty Ogirishi tree. It is also called the Tree of the Ancestors. With so much light shimmering around it, they all jumped up in happiness as they quickly collected enough leaves from it. Tree and returned to the shaman, who prepared a powerful potion with the leaves. This will help you weaken the deity's spirit, she said. But be careful. The spirit will try to trick you and use your fears against you. Armed with the potion and their determination, Agunna and his friends returned to Isiagu. When they entered the land, they went straight to the shrine of the chief priest of the land. The chief priest welcomed them home and blessed the gods of the land for bringing them home safely. He took them to the palace and presented them to the king. The king and the elders were happy as they blessed the gods. Agunna said to the king, "Igwe, we are about to fulfill the last task, which is going to the shrine of the deity to confront it. Plus gather the villagers here, both old and young. Let them all pray and call on Chukwuokike Kayabiyama to forgive the sins of our fathers and grant his victory over the wicked deity Ajofia." The king immediately told the town crier to sound the gong and summon everyone to the palace immediately. The villagers gathered at the palace and started praying to Chukwuokike. "We are sorry for abandoning you and following a strange god. We were deceived and did not know. Please forgive and grant us victory this day." As the prayers were going on, Agunna and the other 6 men decided to confront the deity at the old deserted shrine where Agunna had found the mask, because the former seer who protected the mask was killed in that shrine. As they approached, the ground trembled and a dark mist surrounded them. The spirit appeared, a towering figure of shadow and flame. "You dare to challenge me?" it roared. "Did your fathers not tell you that we made pact that cannot be broken? 7 firstborn sons was promised, and 7 firstborn sons shall be given. We are not our fathers." The young men thundered back at the figure. The figure laughed historically. Then it said to them, "Little children, you know nothing. Your king and his allies committed a great sin in this land, and I am their judgment from Ekwensu. I cannot leave until that which was wrong is right." One of the men replied, "Your time in the land of Isiagu is up, you wicked deity. We will send you back to the evil forest where you belong." The deity was now angry at this time, and he roared, "You will pay for your insolence." Agunna and his friends stood their ground, clutching the potion. The spirit lunged at them and struck before they could get close to it, and the potion fell on the ground. They were all knocked out as the deity laughed. But suddenly, the mask appeared on Agunna's face, filling him with so much energy that he stood up immediately, grabbed the potion on the ground, and charged with speed towards the deity. The deity struck him again, but it was too late. Agunna was already filled with the strength and protection of the ancestors. He splashed the deity with the potion. The spirit screamed in agony as its form began to waver. "This is not over," it hissed. "I will return." With one final burst of energy, the spirit vanished, leaving behind a peaceful silence. Agunna went ahead to wake his friends up as they hugged themselves and thanked Agunna. The villagers, who had gathered in fear at the palace, saw them returning, and they cheered and celebrated their newfound freedom. Agunna and his friends were hailed as heroes. The villagers raced up to the shrine of the wicked deity and set it ablaze as they rejoiced. But Agunna couldn't help but ponder on what the deity had said. What sin did their fathers committed, and what did the deity mean by "he won't leave until what was wronged is right"? Agunna knew that something doesn't feel right. Their journey was not truly over. The spirit's warning echoed in his mind, and he wondered what other secrets the mask held. As he lay in bed that night, he couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. What if the spirit did return? And what other dangers lay hidden in their village's past? Agunna was made the chief warrior and the mask protector of Isiagu Kingdom. He also recruited young men, trained them as he and his friends would continue to train and learn more about the mask's powers. They would be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Agunna woke up early the next morning, determined to learn more about the past of their kingdom, because after the defeat of the wicked deity Ajofia, things didn't go back to normal in the land. People were still suffering and nothing changed. That was when Agunna understood the words of the deity. There is more to the sacrifice of firstborn sons than just an ordinary drought. He gathered his friends and other warriors on the night of the full moon as they beat the drum and chanted and danced around the fire. Agunna prayed to the gods to reveal to him the reason his land is in so much despair. As he wore the mask, he fell into a trance. Then he saw everything. Long time ago, after the death of the king of Isiagu Kingdom, the two sons of the king, Odili and Okeosisi, were to be presented to the gods for the gods of the land to make a choice. Okeosisi was the eldest, very ruthless and wicked, and Odili was the youngest, with a beautiful heart. He helps his people, and he was the man of the people. When they were presented to the gods choose Odili over his elder brother Okeosisi. Okeosisi refuses, as he told the chief priest, "I will not take this. This is not fair. The throne is rightfully mine." Okeosisi bought some elders over to his side with promises of riches and golds. The chief priest included now. The people knew who the gods have chosen and won't accept otherwise. So Okeosisi conspired with chief priest and his allies to eliminate his own brother and his family. That was not going to be an easy task because a royal blood has the protection of the gods. So Prince Okeosisi and his allies went to the evil forest and seek for the help of the evil and wicked deity Ajofia to help him become the king of Isiagu, promising to give the deity whatever he asked for in return. The deity. They brought the deity back with them to Isiagu, built a shrine for it, promising to deliver the blood of 7 firstborn sons to him every 3 years. That faithful afternoon, Prince Odili was with his wife and his 4-year-old son eating inside his hut, giggling and laughing. Suddenly he felt a type of way. He came outside to know what was happening, only to see his brother Okeosisi and some men outside. Before he could ask what was happening, his brother attacked him. Immediately, his wife heard the noise. She peeped and saw what was happening. She picked up her son and hugged him, blessed him. Then she led him through the back door of their hut. She told him to run into the bush, but the boy started crying. She told him to clean his tears, that the gods will protect him. The boy started running towards the forest as the mother returned back to where she was eating. Odili fought with his brother, but he was defeated by his brother because of the charms from the deity Ajofia. Okeosisi drive his sword into the heart of his brother, and he died. They also eliminated his wife, but couldn't find his son. They started running toward the direction where the little boy had ran to, but they couldn't find him. Meanwhile, the little boy ran till he met a hunter who asked him who he was, but he couldn't say. The hunter was surprised as to what a little boy was doing inside the forest alone. The hunter was from another village, and he has no child of his own after so many years of trying with his wife. When he saw the little boy, he believed that the gods have finally gave him a son. He took the boy home, not knowing that he is the son of the prince of Isiagu. After the death of his brother, Okeosisi was crowned the king of Isiagu kingdom, and the gods deserted the land of Isiagu. Because of the atrocities committed against them, Agunna and his friends decided to tell the chief priest what the mask revealed to him. When they got to the chief priest, Agunna revealed all that he has seen when he wore the mask. The chief priest was surprised about what had happened, but he asked Agunna, "Who is this?" "Son of the late Prince Odili." Agunna replied, "Ezemo, I don't know. In fact, that is the problem we are facing right now. The mask refused to reveal further. It's as if the mask has gone back to sleep." The chief priest was confused and sad. "Why will it be now?" he said sadly. "We should tell King Ezeka, late King Okosisi's son, about the atrocities committed by his father and tell him to prepare to step down from the throne," the chief priest told them. But Agunna refused, stating, "Eze Muo, we truly don't know who King Ezeka is. No one knows if he will truly step down from the throne willingly, so let's not tell him yet." So the chief priest concluded with them that he will commune with the gods. Agunna and his 2 friends, Uba and Obi, was relieved as they head home. After seeing his friends off to their houses, Agunna strolled through the bush path leading to his house, when suddenly someone appeared and blocked his way. It was a very beautiful woman that shone like the sun. She could pass for a goddess. Agunna was mesmerized by her glorious aura. As he just stood there and stared at her, she smiled at Agunna and said, "My name is Mmiri Enwe Ilo. I am sent here by your chi to protect you against the coming storm." Agunna was surprised as he asked her, "Protect me?" And she replied, "Yes." Agunna laughed and asked her, "What are you protecting me against?" And as you can see, there is no storm anywhere. The only storm I can see is how to find the son of the rightful king of Isiagu. So you see, I don't need any protection." Agunna said sarcastically, but the spirit laughed and said, "Mortals, for you can only see what you are permitted to see by Osaburua. A great battle is before you, Agunna, son of the gods. For the enemies of the land has gathered against you. Trust no one, Agunna. Trust no one." With that, she disappeared, leaving Agunna confused with so many questions ringing in his head. What does she mean by enemy of the land gathered against him? As he head home, he pondered about the apparition he just had. But unknown to Agunna and his friends, Ezemo and the king were very close friends, and he dances to the tune of their king. So immediately, Agunna left the shrine with his friends. The chief priest, Ezemo, quickly left for the palace, and when he got to the palace, he demanded to see the king, King Ezeka, the son of Okosisi. The king was in his chambers when he came, so the king invited him inside his chambers. When the chief priest entered the king's chambers, the king greeted him with a knowing smile. "Eze Muo, how have you been? And this one you visited me by this time of the day? Hope all is well?" The Eze Muo replied and said to the king, "King Ezeka, my good friend, you know that the toad does not run in the daytime for no reason. It's either it's pursuing something or something is pursuing it." The king replied and said, "Okay, Omelu, so tell me, eyes of the gods, what is it that is pursuing you?" The chief priest replied and said, "Igwe, it's about that young boy Agunna. He is beginning to bite more than he can chew." The chief priest went ahead to tell the king all that Agunna had revealed to him. The king stood up in anger as he passed around his chambers. "Step down! Why will I step down from my throne, and to who am I stepping down for?" He thundered at the chief priest. "Calm down, your highness. According to him, the mask has gone to sleep, and he doesn't even know how to find your uncle's son. You have nothing to worry about." The chief priest assured the king, "No, I won't allow it. Nobody will take what belongs to me. If my father went that far to secure this throne, which is rightfully his, then I won't allow it slip away from my hands. What are we going to do to stop this madness?" The king asked the chief priest, looking so worried, because he saw how they fought the deity Ajofia previously. The king knew that the gods is with Agunna. The king and the chief priest started conspiring on how to eliminate Agunna before he will succeed with his plans of finding the late prince's son or even whispering it to the hearing of the villagers. That night, Agunna lay on his bed as he wondered what the woman was talking about. Could it mean that someone is after his life? What wrong did he do? His only aim is to bring the land of Isiagu to its glory, to reduce the suffering and death in the land so that their land can prosper again. He has never wronged anyone, so who could possibly want to harm him? As he pondered about all this, he didn't know when he dozed off. He had a dream where someone was pursuing him. Then it felt as if someone tapped him, and he jumped up. Sweating profusely, he could swear that someone really woke him up. As he was still trying to recall his dreams, a voice whispered to his ears, "Run a gank." He listened to the voice and ran into the bush close to his house. As he peeped through the plantain tree to observe what was going on, he was shocked to see some royal guard searching for him. Now he understands everything perfectly. "Oh no! My mother, the mask," he said, as he remembered that he had slept off holding the mask. It must have dropped on his bed. He was about to go back for his mother when Mmiri, the woman who had appeared to him earlier, reappeared again and blocked his way. "You can't go back there. They will eliminate you if you do." "But I can't allow them take my mother," Agunna protested. "But wait, I have you as my protector, and you have powers, so we are good to go." But she only smiled and said, "Agunna, his family still have the protection of Ajofia, and you can't fight him, at least not yet. Do you think you actually eradicated that deity?" "Ha ha ha ha." She laughed and disappeared. Agunna watched as the guards took his mother and the mask away. He was frightened, and he started running to his friend Uba's hut when he got there. The king's guards already got him, and he started running towards Obi's hut. He met Obi halfway, as Obi was also trying to escape from the king's men. Both of them stopped to catch their breath. "What happened?" Agunna asked Obi. "I escaped from the king's men." "And they started pursuing me. What about you, Agunna?" Agunna replied, "They took my mother and the mask, but I escaped. And I think they captured Uba, because I couldn't find him in his hut, and his house looks scattered. But what is going on? Why is the king of Isiagu after us? What wrong have we done?" Obi asked as he was trying to catch his breath. "I think the king is aware of the mask revelation," Agunna said regrettably. "I think the chief priest is working with the king. Ah, we have done a great mistake. What are we going to do now?" As they were still trying to figure it out, they sighted the king's men searching for them. So they started running towards the thick forest, to the path leading to the next village. The following morning, the king commanded his men to bring Agunna's mother and his friend Uba to his throne. When they brought them, the king asked them, "Where is your son, woman?" Agunna's mother, Obianuju, was just staring at the king fearlessly. "I don't know King Azeka. Don't lie to me, woman. If you don't tell me where he is, I will find him and chop off his head in your front." The king thundered at her. Just as he was about to question Uba, the chief priest walked in. So the king commanded the guard to take them back to the dungeon. The chief priest spoke to the king. "Igwe, I think I have solution to the problems." "Go ahead, Eze Mo. I'm all ears," the king responded. "Eze, I'm thinking deeply. If your father worshipped Ajofia for him and his lineage to remain on the throne, I think you should do the same." The king listened carefully and replied, "I have been thinking the same thing. How will I go about it?" He asked the chief priest, and the chief priest answered, "The only way is for us to offer the sacrifice to Ajofia, because he is still here. As long as the lineage of Okosisi is still on the throne of Isiagu, Ajofia will remain in the land." The king nodded his head with a grin. He immediately sent out some men secretly to do the dirty job for them. The men went out to kidnap firstborn sons from the village and neighboring villages. Then the cry began. Mothers searching for their lost sons and families searching for their only child. But nobody suspected that their king will ever think of going back to the deity that has brought so much bad omen to the land of Isiagu. Meanwhile, Agunna and Obi had run that night trying to escape from King Azeka's men sent to end their lives. They have traveled for days in the forest. They continued walking till they got to an old hut in the forest, and they decided to go there and rest so that they can gather enough strength to continue with their escape plan. When they got to the hut, it was old and empty. They decided to sleep there, but as they were about to lay their head, an old woman walked into the hut. "Who are you people, and what are you doing in my hut?" Agunna and Obi apologized to the woman for entering her house like that. They were about to take their leave when the woman called, "Agunna, the son of the gods." Agunna was shocked. "How did you know my name, Old One, and who are you?" The old woman laughed and told them to sit down. The both of them went ahead to sit down, but they were scared as they stare at the old woman. "It's obvious you don't know who you are yet, right?" she asked Agunna, who only stared at her in confusion. "What do you mean, old one?" The woman looked at him with pity in her eyes. Then she said, "Agunna, you cannot run away from your destiny. Your people needs you at this critical time. You should confront the evil in your land instead of running from it." Agunna and Obi was surprised because the old woman seems to know so much about them, more than they know themselves. "Old and wise one, how do you know all this you are saying? Besides, we are escaping so that we will be able to go and search for the rightful king of Isiagu, as revealed by the mask. The impostor sitting on the throne of Isiagu is not our king." Agunna said to the old woman, but she laughed historically. "Agunna," the old woman continued, "how can you be searching for something that is standing in front of you? You are the son of the late Prince Odili of Isiagu Kingdom. You are the rightful king of Isiagu Kingdom." Agunna was shocked at what the old woman just revealed. Agunna laughed out so loud, "Old one, I'm no king. I live with my mother in Isiagu. As I'm even talking to you now, the king has her. My mother is alive. So what are you trying to say?" The woman was silent for a while, silence that resonated with the mysteries of Ani, the Mother Earth. "Firstly, your name is Obidike, given to you by your parents. The woman you called mother is not your birth mother Agunna. She is the wife of the hunter that rescued you the day your uncle massacred your family. During the war, break out in the village where the hunter lives, he escaped with you and his wife to Isiagu, where they sojourn till this day. Your adoptive father is dead, while your adoptive mother is still alive." The woman said to Agunna, who was frozen. He held Obi, who was also shaken by this revelation. They couldn't believe what they have heard with their ears as every trace of sleep disappeared from their eyes. Agunna stood up and paced around the hut. The revelation hit him like a blow as he tried to put everything together. Could this be true? Is he really the rightful king of Isiagu? Is he dreaming? As he was still pondering over all this, Obi walked up to him. "Agunna, my bosom friend, I have always known that you are a great man, but I never imagined that you would ever be a king. But for some reason I can't explain, I believe this old woman." Agunna looked at his friend, who nodded his head. In affirmation, just then the woman disappeared. That was when they realized that they have been talking with a spirit. They decided that they need to go back to Isagu and confront the king. "But we are outnumbered, Agunna. We cannot fight this wicked man alone. We need allies, especially an ally of a spiritualist or a chief priest." Just then, Mmiri appeared before them and said to Agunna, "It is time. We move tonight." Mmiri said some words, and the three of them disappeared and reappeared at the boundary of Isiagu Kingdom. Mmiri told them to lie low till the morning, because that morning the king was going to announce the commencement of the Kingdoms of Allah festival. So that will be the perfect time to confront the king in the presence of the angry villagers. So they waited patiently till morning. In the morning, the villagers started gathering at the palace, both old and young. King Ezeka is also sitting in his throne as he smiled mischievously. Once the villagers are gathered, the king started, "Dibani ekelem unu," and they responded, "Igwi." As he was about to say another word, Mmiri appeared in their midst. Her presence brought shivers to the people gathered as they wondered who she was. "Ezeka, son of Okosisi, Your father held unto something that doesn't belong to him, so have you, and you forgot that a pregnancy cannot be covered for too long. The blood of the innocent that you and your father sacrificed to Ajofia is crying out for vengeance." The people were all confused. What is going on? Mmiri went ahead to reveal everything that their late king Okosisi had done to their land, and how their king had also followed the footsteps of his father. On hearing this, the villagers charged at the king, but immediately the deity appeared and struck again. But Mmiri was fast as she wedged the strike with her staff. As Mmiri fights with Ajofia, the warriors immediately dragged King Ezika down from the throne. Agunna was made to sit down on the throne as the kingmaker crowned him king. Immediately, Ajofia screamed in pain and disappeared. Finally, the pact was broken. As the people of Isiagu jumped and shouted in happiness, Agunna immediately ordered for the release of his mother and his friends. He banished Ezika and the chief priest from Isiagu kingdom, never to be seen close to the land. There was a heavy rainfall in Isiagu kingdom, which washed away all the atrocities committed in the kingdom. The untimely death ceased with the sacrifices of firstborn son. The land was peaceful, and gods dwell among them. So my people, when the evil people are in power, the people suffers. Okoro eruki eruwara ogodo. Ikuku kuo magwongwo nimwogwo ekuchie yanya. Evil doesn't pay,